Today we're going to find out how Shakespeare used Macbeth and Lady Macbeth's relationship to show the damages of unchecked ambition. This is the first quote we're going to look into, and honestly one of my favourites whenever I'd write in exam pieces. This quote is from Act 1, Scene 5. This is when Macbeth has sent a letter to Lady Macbeth to inform him of the witches and their prophecies. Right, let's start to analyse this quote. There is a lot we can zoom into here, so let's start with the first word. Now, this is what we call a possessive pronoun. This basically shows that he's proud to call her his wife. This is a great point of comparison, which we will come back to later. Let's move on to the next word, dearest. This word acts as an intensifier to show Macbeth's utmost love and devotion for his wife. Now, this is one of the most important words in this quote from my perspective, partner. If we look into the time where this is written, there is no equality between man and his wife. Men are seen as superior to women, so by Macbeth using the word partner to describe his wife, he's showing his equality and his respect for Lady Macbeth. The final word we're going to look into here is greatness. This just shows the ambition him and his wife both have. If I were to choose one word for you to focus in on this quote, I would choose the word partner. This because it demonstrates the respect and links beautifully to the plot with how he chose to include his wife, which was not seen as something that was bare minimum at that time. Right, let's go to the next quote. This is in Act 3, Scene 2. Macbeth says, "Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife." Let's take a quick look at the plot. This is when Macbeth is at unease for his deep desires to kill Banquo and Fleance. Now, whilst this is a beautiful quote to analyse as it is, we are focusing on how unchecked ambition ruined the relationship. So all we're going to focus on is dear wife. As you can see, this title for Lady Macbeth has changed quite drastically. It's gone from my dearest partner of greatness to dear wife. Now, dear in that phrase carries some affection, as he is still choosing to put that there. However, you can see that his priorities have changed. The word wife carries so much strength in this quote, as the last thing he called her was partner. He's just taken away his equality that he's expressed before for his wife because of the time period, as she was not seen as equal. This is Macbeth trying to take power. Now, from this quote, if I was to choose one word to focus on, it would 100% be wife, because it links so well to our previous quote. This is the last quote we're going to look at, and I believe the last thing he calls his wife. Now, this is Act 5, Scene 3, so right at the end of the play. He says, "How does your patient, doctor?" So if we take a look at the plot, Lady Macbeth has fallen ill. This is when she's having her night terrors and sleepwalking about some candle and trying to wash the blood off her hands. This is right before Macbeth goes to war and just before his wife dies. There are two words we can focus on here, so let's start with the pronoun your. This is a lovely contrast to the first quote we looked at when he used the possessive pronoun my, as he's completely dismissed Lady Macbeth here, as his priorities are now on the battle instead of his own wife. The final word we're going to look into is doctor. This is who he's talking to. He has literally put someone between him and his wife, because instead of taking care of her and seeing her, he's asked someone else. This creates distance. He is literally showing the ways of how unchecked ambition has ruined his relationship because he is so driven towards power. Now, if I was to choose one word to take from this quote, I would choose your, because it creates a direct contrast from Act 1, where she's saying my. This also works really well in exams because you can play off what you've analysed with the possessive pronoun my and just flip it. The first long video that I've posted, so I really hope whoever stuck around to finish it that it was really useful. And across these three quotes, you've got a beautiful timeline that examiners love to accredit marks for, because you've gone from Act 1 to Act 3 to Act 5. You've seen the progression of characters and the relationship from the consequences of unchecked ambition.